Go around me and through me to get to my father. I'm saying, now you know before you can be a universal architect.
Universal justice. Balance scale, divine righteous judgment. Nah, be the black man time. Fuck if you trust this, you gonna feel the positive vibe. Oh, we gon' bust quick. Out of you filthy as lies. Young black people need to learn who you are and understand why you're light skin, brown and dark. And always know where the sun get the heat to stay hot. Stand firm in your swearing, you never will stop. Rock out with your cock out and never drop out. You be the masters of subconscious ultra builder, no doubt. You build a planet real fast, ultra smooth with no sound. You build a planet real fast, ultra smooth with no sound.
Suns in sight, katana swore me my call. I fast to meditate upon that ass like we're hard. Assimilate your fate along the brigade.
You cannot go.
Yo, peace. Y'all let us know if y'all can hear us, man. We in the building. It's the God and Earth Hour podcast, man. Peace to everybody. We was having a little couple technical issues, man, but we working them out, man, to get everything back live and blasted, man. I think the camera is out, man. The audio was out, but we in here. Me and the Earth is in here in the building, man. And we just want to tap in. We about to go through today's Supreme Mathematics. We about to go through some teachings. We about to go through just a build in general. There we go. Peace to everybody out there, man. This your brother, Minister Freedom Allah. I'm broadcasting live, man, here from the 5% Connection. And if this is your first time here with us, if you ain't already know how we do, man, it's the God and Earth Hour podcast, man, where we come together and add on not only to the supreme teachings of the 5%, but our culture, the science of everything in life, man, love, peace, and happiness, and kick the truth all the way live, man. So y'all know it's tonight. It's gonna be me, my big brother, IC Allah, man, and we got a real powerful, real mean topic tonight for the people. And we talk, I've been seeing the conversation go around on social media about, slavery never happened. All of our people didn't come, all the people didn't come here on boats and et cetera, et cetera. So we got a real nice live topic that we're gonna build and we're gonna add on to. So peace to that, man. But first off, man, I got the pleasure to have the beautiful Earth in the building with us tonight, man. Y'all know how it is. Sometimes we can't get the Earth in here, but tonight we got the pleasure. So Earth, if you want to introduce yourself, welcome to the podcast. I know you've been you an honored guest on here before. If you want to introduce yourself and add on. No problem.
Peace to the gods and the earths and the kings and queens out there. I will that it's a lot of y'all tuning in tonight because it's going to be a very, very interesting build tonight in regards to if slavery was real or not. So,
yeah. No doubt. Yeah, so y'all know how we do. We here to add on, we here to connect people with the culture. We here to be a true and living example of the gods and of the earths, man, and add on in the best way that we can. And two, just on a real quick note, man, if you out there and you interested in our culture, and you hear and you if it's anything that you hear during the podcast, and you want to get connected with us and ask questions at any time, man, you can go to 5percentconnection.com, enter your information, or send us a direct DM, man, and send us your information, man, and we'll work to do our best to get you connected with the gods and earths near you, man. So just getting right into it. For those that don't know, man, we deal with the science of mathematics. So for some people here, I know our entire audience isn't people that's in the culture. A lot of the people that tune in and add on with us is people that's not in the knowledge. But we the gods. If this your first time ever being introduced to the 5%ers, we don't believe in the teachings of a mystery God. We don't bear witness that it's a magical, unseen being that exists in the sky, that exists up in somewhere, that's an omnipotent being controlling our reality and controlling our world. We know and can show and prove at no limit of time that the black man is indeed God. And with that, we able to take the sole controller, become the sole controllers of our lives, of our communities, and of the world around us. And with that, we able to become enlightened to the knowledge and the wisdom that was not only lost from our people, but that's been hidden, that has to be revealed. We able to study. We able to not take anything on face value. So we a culture in a community of scholars. And the point where I was going with that is one of the ways that we define our world and define the world around us is what's known as the science of supreme mathematics. We teach that supreme mathematics is man's key to understanding his relationship to the universe. Now, supreme mathematics is a system of numbers that correlates directly with principles. And these numbers and principles then help us as mathematical beings, as gods and earths, to correlate our everyday relationship to the universe. So this science is correlated to today's date, right? So today's date is the 26th. This is the 26th day in the 8th month of this year, or the Law You God month. So today's mathematics will be wisdom equality, because 2 in supreme mathematics is wisdom, 6 is equality. So today is wisdom equality. What does that mean? For me, this for any of the guys, any of the people that's in the know, when you wise with your equality, you wise with the way that you deal with other people. You wise with the ways that you deal with all things. Being God and being an individual and the knowledge and the culture, you have to have some level of wisdom about when you want to share yourself, when you want to share things, when you want to teach, when you not want to teach, and when you want to give up what may be valuable to you. For me, the supreme equality that I received was the knowledge of self, right? This is an individual, me in this case, being given something so supreme, being given a blessing and a very knowledge and a very understanding of life, for I don't want to say for nothing, but for no charge. You know what I'm saying? For simply who I am, right? Dealing in equality. They gave it to me for the same price and the same thing that they paid for it, which was attention. They gave me the truth. And they gave me that just like a person gave to them. So that's supreme equality. That's equality to me. So I'm wise with how I deal with that. So Earth, I know you running back and forth. I know you just let our brother in. You want to add on to today's Supreme Math? Well, I'll give you a second to catch your breath. I know you. I hear you running. I hear you breathing. Yo, peace, Apex of Law. Yo, peace. Yo, this minister, peace to you, man. Peace. Well, we in here going through the science, Scott. We going through it right now, man. We about to elevate it on up there and take it all the way to the universe, man. You know what I mean? Right now, we just was dealing with today's Supreme Mathematics. Earth, you want to add on to today's mathematics?
Sure. I'm sorry, I have to catch my breath.
Take your time. Take your time.
Wisdom equality to me is wisdom is accumulation of your experiences. It's also an accumulation of your knowledge. And equality means to be equal in everything. And that's not necessarily like being equal across the board, so to speak, but in layman terms, giving people what they need at that present moment in time. So the way I wisdom my equality is I share with people what it is that they need and what could be beneficial to them in order for them to continue to build in their own personal life, or to build and master certain goals and certain ventures that they may have. and for me in my personal life, just added on to my family, you know. So
Word.
that's how I see it.
Peace to the earth. Peace, earth. So, anything that you wanna, cause I know you wasn't gonna, you just kind of tapping in. We're gonna bring IC up to the stage. What I wanted to ask you is before you leave, and one question I wanted to throw at you, just getting started in here, before we and the God get into the science that we going through, is that there's a lot of sisters and there's a lot of people, and we get a lot of inquiries from a lot of people who do a lot of research and read a lot of things online and see a lot of things. And I think a lot of times people have misconceptions about what is the earth and what it truly means. I think you see a lot of sisters coming to the knowledge for the wrong reasons. A lot of people coming to the knowledge with different certain misconceptions. What would you say to those people? What would you give them to help clear up the misconception about what earth is, or what people may think earth is from the outside looking in?
I mean, I would think that people should ask questions, and from the outside looking in, like you can only assume. You know what I mean? Um, I think like you should ask questions more so than assume anything. So if if a sister was striving to understand what the earth is or understand how to come amongst and be or things of that nature, I think that the best way for her to be able to get that type of information or get that type of understanding of how to be a better woman would be to come amongst sisters who kind of have it figured out already.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's not necessarily cookie cutting. You know, it's your own beautiful expression of how you see yourself. And when you dig deep within inside of yourself, which is what knowledge of self, then you'll see that. You
Word.
know. So yeah, that's how I see it.
Peace, peace, earth.
Yeah.
Beautiful bill, beautiful bill. That's definitely the wisdom of equality. I like what I see. So come on up, God. So, guys, God, we're gonna go and get into the bill. I know you go get into the side. What you want to say, Earth?
What I was gonna say before the guy comes up, what I was gonna say before the guy comes up, I actually would like for everyone to kind of do the knowledge to what or research and inquire to see like what PFAS are, and they've been around since I think 2018 or 2019. But PFAS are basically, it's a word like polyfluoral alkali carbons. It's basically elements that are hard to get rid of in the atmosphere. And I actually been doing a knowledge to them the last couple of days. Forever chemicals. Yeah. I thought it was very interesting. It's called polyfluoral alkali substances. And it's actually a group of chemicals that are basically like, they say they are all identified by signature elemental bonds of fluorine and carbon, which are extremely strong and make it so difficult for these chemicals to disintegrate in the environment and in our bodies. So basically, they're like found in non-stick cookware and water-resistant things and heat-resistant things. And basically, they cause like infertility, hormone imbalances, cancer. They even cause diabetes, which is really weird, but they cause that. So I really would like for everybody to be aware of what forever chemicals are, because if you don't do the work in detoxing your body, like years later and months and weeks later, like they can express themselves in different ways, in different forms, meaning cancer, meaning, malignant things, and you know what I'm saying, and just in other ways. Like that's probably why we see a high, infertility rate nowadays within certain people, because they haven't took the time to detox and fast. You know what I mean? Yeah, in non-stick cookware. Yeah, it's in non-stick cookware. Yeah. So I personally like cast iron. I don't know about anybody else, but I personally like cast iron because when you're cooking in cast iron, like iron goes into your food, you know, so that could be something that can help a iron deficient person. So, excuse me, just dealing with today's mathematics and adding that on to a person that may not know, you know, share that with your family and let people know, like, throw the non-stick cookware away and go back to, you know, what our grandmothers and our mothers used to cook out of. You know, I think that would be more beneficial than, you know, just this whole, like, we don't have to cook with, you know, any type of oil or anything like that, and we could just go the easy way out when really that easy way could be, you know, something that could be detrimental to our health. So one way you could detox your body, and I'm not going to give a bunch of ways, but one way you can detox your body is through your food. Parsley and cilantro are really good herbs that help to detoxify heavy metals out of the body. So that could be some place to start if you want to talk about detoxing. But you can even detox with lemon water and cayenne. You know what I mean?
Word,
like you can.
word.
It's really practical ways you can detox. You know. But I just wanted to make that known.
Peace to the earth.
Do
Peace
the
to the
knowledge to
earth.
forever chemicals.
Peace to the earth for earth. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for taking out time, you know, out your evening to come down here and come add on with us. And come build and sound with the people. You know, you the earth has definitely been heavily requested. So yeah, Earth, thank you.
I appreciate
Peace
it.
to the
Thank you.
earth. No problem. So yeah, so with that, man, we wanna hop right into it. We wanna get right into this topic. You know what I mean? Because it's something me and the guy was just been talking about and been building on for a few days. You know, we really been seeing. I've been seeing this conversation on social media and just on Instagram for a while. Just in this whole talk that, and the whole question is, and what I'm seeing is you got people coming with a whole argument that slavery never happened, that the notion of the transatlantic slave trade is unrealistic and not founded in any actual evidence. So I wanted to present some of the evidence. I wanted to enlighten people because, you know, I think a lot of times, especially those of us in knowledge, we may look at bills like this and conversations like this as they rudimentary, as they, like, you know, elementary, or like, yo, this is how can somebody even say that? However, what I think in the age of massive information, where there's so much information, there's so much content. I read something the other day where it talks about how on social media that every day there are approximately 6 billion posts made across social media, across Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So we face with these massive amounts of content, massive amounts of misinformation, massive amounts of people just saying anything. So I wanted to play a couple of the clips of some of these arguments, and then the gods we gonna add on to them, and we're gonna present some things, and we're gonna add on to that. So one of the first things that I hear a lot is, where are the ships? Right? You have a lot of people who come with the whole bill that, there were no ships. How do you transport 12 million people in these little boats? You know, if you had these many boats to transport 12 million people, will we not still have remnants of those boats and remnants of those ships? Right? So we want to dig into that. First off, man, I want to play the clip. I want to play one of these clips, and then I want to hear these people out. You know what I'm saying? Cause this ain't just, you know, I feel like, especially, and this is something especially at the gods. You know what I'm saying? Especially at individuals, at the gods, and I say that with all due respect, because, you know, the gods gotta feel me in the point that, you know, we had to be the ones to teach. We had to be the ones to educate these people. So if we can't combat these, I don't want to say combat, but have a response for these things, because for me, I think that these type of things are really the destruction of people learning. Because what I see a lot of these people doing is Google searching this stuff, and people just saying anything. So we gonna hear them out. I'm gonna let the clip roll.
Come and say better than my comment. Not in the way that they say. Okay, I believe that there is some truth to it. You heard me in my comments say they will lie when the truth fit better. Okay, so in the comment section, somebody said something about Amistad. I saw Amistad. I felt Amistad, but that's just it. It was just Amistad. So you're going to take that one story and make it be everybody's story. But you can show me a picture of a packed boat in the 1800s of the immigrants coming over for the land grab. We can get that. Where is the proof? You got proof of when you hung my ancestors by the neck, and sometimes before they was even dead, you burned them up, cut their pieces off of their bodies, and put it in museums, passed it around. You made postcards about it, but y'all didn't make nothing about the boats. It should be this boat, that boat, this boat, postcards. Where are they? To come and say better than my comment.
All right. Okay. So that's the first piece we're gonna deal with. Sis said, "Where are the boats? Where are the boats?" Now, the first point that I want to make is that with this whole bill, what we have to understand, for one, what I think a lot of people is missing, the transatlantic slave trade was something that happened over a period of almost 300 years. 300 years. Take this in. Most experts estimate that there were conservatively 14,000 journeys. Conservatively.
Civilization didn't last that long.
Huh?
I was thinking you got civilization didn't last that long.
Oh shit, right. Talk about almost 300 years. Come on over. Come on over, Ozzy. Look, this is something that lasted 250 years. Now, there's a lot of evidence, and I want to show some of this stuff. There are several slave ships that have been found, that have been recovered. What a lot of people have to realize too is that the majority that people say, well, where are the slave ships here in America? For one, I agree with something that I read earlier. The majority of these ships, one, went back to Britain, went back to the countries of their origin. Okay, the ones that we have a lot of times have found have been ones that have sunk in that sea. When slavery was made illegal, ship owners and the people who were running slaves either decommissioned their ships, used them for other purposes, or the ones who continued to partake in the slave trade was then burned. So what I want to do is present a few of these things, a few of the slave ships that have been found, a few of the actual historical science and records, man. I mean, and I'm gonna go a lot of ways at this because it's documented in so many different ways, and there's so many pieces to unpack with this, especially when you want to understand. Because like I said earlier, we from a culture that deal with showing and proving. We not from the culture that just taking something on face value. So we want to build on it. I seen we got somebody in the comments say all of the boats are cartoon pictures. This is what they said. This is what we got on Instagram. Okay. Say Derek Belafonte. Say all of the pictures of boats are cartoon pictures. Word. So real quick, man, I want to share something. I want to show something up here for the people, so everybody can see. So this is an article from CNN that was reporting the finding of the San Jose Paquette. And I may be pronouncing this wrong. The San Jose Paquette, okay, was a Portuguese slave ship that was recovered off of the coast of Cape Town, okay? On this ship, they found several hundred iron ballasts, okay, which is if anybody who know anything about anything on a boat and maritime travel, you have to have a certain amounts of ballast or a certain amount of counterweights to weigh out your cargo. So approximately what the science was that they understood that approximately one ballast equal 1 to 2 people. So for every 1 to 2 people that you had on board, you had to have at least one ballast. Okay, and the British Maritime Museum recovered a lot of these ballasts in this ship, as well as pieces of shackles, you know, as well as other artifacts, wood, several other things that have been carbon dated to that time period. Okay, you also had the Clotilda. Okay, and I'm gonna go back over here to my screen real quick. You know, and oh yeah. Somebody said it on Instagram. Charles D Universe, I think I'm pronouncing it wrong. Last part comics. They definitely have the logs, and we're gonna get to the logs in a second. But I just want to deal with where we talking about the boats. Okay, you had the Clotilda, which is a slave ship that was found in Mobile, Alabama. Okay, it was famous. This story was famously documented in Zora Neale Thurston's book. Okay, Zora Neale Thurston, she documented the story of a member of who was on that ship, whose name was Cujo. Okay, this is one of the last slave stories. She wrote about his whole life, and he told his story to Zora Neale Thurston back in the day. And this is one of the last slave stories. And him and his family came over on the Clotilda. Okay. Another example of a slave ship, and you can Google all this for yourself.
Can I just say one thing?
Come on, RC. Welcome to the stage. Welcome to the stage.
Peace,
come on,
peace,
welcome to the stage. Peace to the God. Welcome to the stage. We got IC in the building. We got IC Allah in the building. Let me get the camera.
Peace
to the God.
Peace to all the earth. Peace to all the positive people in the universe. You know, first and foremost. You know, secondly, I would just like to say that to the brother that had, or the sister, I didn't hear the name, that you mentioned about that they made the statement in regards to the all of the boats, cartoon pictures and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to think the first photograph was taken around the early 1800s. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So you're not gonna be finding no pictures of no slave boats, and I'm sure they even if
I got some smoke for that though.
No,
I got you.
No, even if they were taking photographs in that day and time, I'm sure they wasn't sitting around posing.
Ooh.
Allowing individuals to come and just take snapshots of what it was. I mean, you know, this was dirty business regardless. So, but however, you wasn't even taking photographs at the time when the slave trade was at its height. You know, everything was a painting, a drawing,
peace God,
or something.
Well, that's just what I was about to come with, was that now what I was able to find. Fam said cartoon pictures. I mean, you have several famous paintings from the early 1700s that depict the slave trade. Now, you know, my thing is, to the conspiracy theorists out there who come with a lot of this, is that why would they, what reason, no. And I think who just said that, Seven Power. No, the proof of boats, it's not that the proof of boats is important, because it ain't important. We merely want to add on to it, and I told the God
they
this.
got manifestos.
We dialoguing on this because these are some of the misconceptions and the things that the youth is believing. This is a big conversation, especially like on platforms
of boats.
TikTok.
They're written in journals.
God, this is what I was about. Well,
this is how we know how many different names of different slave boats that they had.
Peace, God. Well, one thing that I was gonna show, and this is one way that I always take people, is that what we have to remember. The slave trade was funded. Let's keep it G. Let's keep it G. For all the people who say that this shit never happened, or what did it happen for, or when did it happen, or whatever, or that it never happened, where would it? Yes, people are saying one part of the argument of people saying slavery didn't happen is they're making the claim that there were no boats. Okay. So we was just addressing that part. Okay, we was just addressing that part, but the dialogue kind of is moving along. So one other point that I wanted to show, and what the God just was kind of talking about, and the point that I was just making, slavery was funded. In big part is slavery in America, as well as slavery in the American, in the what we call Central America or so-called South America, was funded by greatly in part by not only the British government but the Portuguese government. Now, what's the significance of that? Is that even in those days, everything that was funded, everything that was documented, all of the money that was given out had to be documented through Parliament. Had to be documented by British Parliament in edicts or things that came down from the crown. Now, what is the significance of this, Minister Freedom? How does this benefit us? Is that, all of these parliamentary records still exist. Just like all the insurance records and slave records of the American slave trade still exist in the Library of Congress. So one thing that I wanted to show, the good people over here if you go to slavevoyages.org, okay, this is a database that is composed of the British parliamentary records of the slave trade and the slave fundings and slave voyages that were documented in the National Archives of the United Kingdom. Okay, and you can go through each one of these and it'll tell you what page, what year, the exact date of the record, and which page in the parliamentary history and archives that you can find this log in this record. Okay, so the records exist. The actual physical evidence exists. Okay, I see you kind of something you want to add on to that.
No, I mean, I'd rather hear what the next.
The next argument. Yeah. So let me roll this one because I thought this one was interesting.
I think all of that was pretty explanatory. Now, if individuals that are listening or tuning in, have some discrepancies or want to debate that,
please do.
I think the point is very clear cut.
Yeah.
You look at Africans,
especially with that last demonstration.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is, God, I think what fam say, Derek Belafonte, yes, those are European sources, absolutely. Now, here's the jewel in that.
Those are sources,
as well as why would the European lie about the money that he's made from enslaving you?
No, who else gonna have the sources?
Right. Ooh, damn, God.
Who else gonna have the sources?
Whoa, God. I'm telling you. Who else gonna write it down? This is shit he did.
At this time, the original man was able to be tricked the way that he was in that day and time because he didn't deal with no written contract. Word was bond. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Mobb Deep told you. Mobb Deep said it best. He said, we rob land like white man. Plans to overthrow your shit while shaking your hand. That's what we dealt with. Of course they wrote it down. They got the records.
Right. Well, as well as, God, you have to understand, that's why I said they wrote it down because they funded it. They wrote it down because they wrote it down because they paid for it.
It was their business.
Right, like you said, it was their business. They spent money and invested money and paid traders and paid captains and funded the voyages to go get people to then help to build up they same land. I mean, no, I wouldn't say these are the same sources that tell us that we contributed nothing to the world, because if we study these same records, if we go to these same museums and these same national archives, you will see the stolen artifacts from Africa.
They hold the greatness in their museums.
Absolutely, peace, God. That's where I was going. Because at the same time, while they was pillaging the people, while they was taking our people and taking us from Africa, they was taking the statues. They was taking the masks. They was taking the gold. They was taking the diamonds. They was taking everything. And they got it all in their museums. The science is they don't reveal it to us They're not gonna tell us that you can go into the British Parliament archives and go see all of the documented voyages. Nah, of course they don't advertise that because they trying to take. Now the narrative is they want to take the whole shit out of schools. Critical race theory. We don't even want to let you teach about slavery no more. We want to just make it. We want to just make that whole history go bye bye. So I mean they go ahead, God.
It seems like the individuals that support this theory are the right in line with that, because your whole argument is to erase the reality that slavery even happened.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you falling for the banana in the tailpipe, because that same group of people politically came and slid that ideology up to somebody. Now it's just blowing up. And it's been going on for some years. I done been hearing this argument for some years.
Guy. No, I already know.
You know, it's old to me now.
Yeah, it's a bit. It's definitely. It's definitely a.
I don't give a goddamn if it was one caught in slavery. One is too damn many.
And as well as to Fam's point that you say that these are the European sources. Okay, so what about the slave diaries? What about the actual written hand of the former slaves that were documented, written down, transcribed from word, from their own, from mouth to ear to hand to pen? In the late 1800s of this country, one famously, like I just quoted earlier, Zora Neale Thurston, one of the greatest writers of our time. Why would she lie? Tell me why. Make it make sense why Zora Neale Thurston would lie. Why would she lie about talking to the man named Cujo, who's a legend in Mobile, Alabama? They have a damn statue of him. Okay, it's a whole memorial house and everything. I've been there. It's a whole memorial about the claw tie, about the people of Mobile, Alabama. It's a whole community, and they actual descendants is still alive.
You got a whole people over in Jamaica in the Caribbean. I just left there. They'll tell you very vividly about the history of being dropped there before being brought here. That's why they have so much of the culture still left in the Caribbean tied to Africa.
Ooh.
No, those were the ones that weren't. They wasn't broken in the breaking process.
Peace, God.
You know that brief part of history that we got called the making of a nigga, the making of a Negro. You know, 64 years.
Oh, Bill, who that? Jigga 1017 on YouTube say, so they're just saying Gullah culture is made up? Whoa, you ain't lying, bro. You're not lying, bro. Is Gullah culture made up? Because we striving to understand here. Because, you know, and this the other thing, because I wasn't even going to go here, because I didn't think that we would have to go here. But I'm gonna just take it to some genetic evidence. Because the other part of this argument is that we were never brought over to this country as slaves, that we were already here, and that our people are of the Native American cultures, and we were already in this country before the so-called slave trade happened. That is partially true, because I bear witness that the Native American peoples are the original man. However, in this argument, it is wrong on several points. One point of contention is that the Native American people, it is known and documented that they never allowed themselves to be enslaved. Never allowed themselves to be enslaved.
White man
for the most part. Okay? The Native American man went to war. Okay, about his freedom and about his land in this country. Let's keep it G. Okay, and took America to fucking war for decades. Okay, they call them the American Indian Wars. You had the Navajo Wars, the Iroquois Wars. I mean, the Native American. This shit is documented history.
They fucked them up with alcohol.
Peace, God. Damn. Whoa, God. But you know, that's another bill. I just want to make the point that, for one, the Native American people never went for slavery, because whether we can debate about the boats and about whether the slave trade happened. However, it's of no fucking question that the chattel enslavement of black and so-called African people in this country definitely happened. We know I mean, we can go all the way down to the plantations, to DNA evidence, all of that. But I just want to go back to the Indians.
And that's not to say that it wasn't black people here on the continent before slavery. That's to say that slavery happened. But you do have travels, you know, and documents and documentation of original people being here before slavery, before Columbus. So that's not the argument.
Right. Peace, God. No. Absolutely. No, that's definitely not the argument. You know, I just think that people not thinking that two things can happen simultaneously. That was the other point that I was going through with the Native American people, is that it is scientifically proven that the Native American peoples here in this country have an entirely different genetic phenotype than the people of Africa. They have an entirely different phenotype, meaning an entirely different genetic phenotype. We're not talking about phenotypes, we talking about alleles. We talking about different structures and different pieces of the DNA. This is why the Native American people, they have a straighter hair texture. That's why they have a more slender nose. That's why they have a different facial structure than the so-called African.
What they call it, aquiline.
Well, what I was going was that what they call it is the haploid. I can't remember the number for the haploid, but essentially it's the DNA structure that's most similar to the Indian man, to the people of India. Okay, which further adds on to the point of what we taught in our lessons in the third degree in the 1 through 14, where it say that when Christopher Columbus came to this country, he found Indians living here who were exiled from India 16,000 years ago. They were original people. Even Elijah taught that the Indians walked to this country 16,000 years ago across the Bering Strait in Alaska. Okay, that they walked from India up through Asia, through Siberia, across Antarctica, and across the land bridge in Alaska into this country. The Native American people been here, but they are not the same phenotype as the so-called American Negro. They not the same people as the so-called American Negro. These are not the same people. These are two completely separate genetic phenotypes. So that whole argument about we not Africans, we Native Americans, no, the Native Americans are in fact, they Africans. All the people of the planet are Africans. So we know we one and the same. I'm just saying that we didn't come here by the same means. We didn't come here by the same means, and we here right now. I got the African phenotype. We here, and I ain't here by mistake. So yeah, that's one of the other points I want to get to. But God, I want to play the next argument really quick, and then we gonna go into the music, and we gonna close. It's a couple of them though, but I just wanted to play my man's is the other one that I was gonna play. We really done went through a lot of the stuff that they was coming with. You know what I'm saying? That they was kind of going, some of the points of contention that we was coming with. Because that's really what they go through. That we didn't come here over on boats. The slave trade never happened. How did 12 million, that was another one that I heard. How did 12 million people come here on boats? Where are the boats that brought 12 million people? Easy. Over 250 years. That's how you bring 12 million people. That shit ain't happened in a decade. That shit happened over 2 centuries. So, yeah, I see. Anything you want to add on to that before I play the next clip?
12 trillion people didn't just hop on a gang of boats and come over here at one time. Like was said earlier, we're talking about something that happened over a span of hundreds of years. And then, when I hear that question, I think about, that make me think about, a lot of ancient, navies, some kingdoms, some civilizations, some empires, they were known for having large and great navies, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, that makes me wonder, I guess, it would be wise to ask, you wouldn't believe that they had that. That's like, where are the boats?
Right.
I couldn't believe you had that, because, now, I can't, explain the, where the boats are.
Right.
You know, but however, I'm sure, especially with slavery, dealing with that type of a thing, it would be like striving to get rid of the gun.
No, no. God, I went through that earlier. This is what you got to remember. In I want to say, was it 1808 or 1809? Slavery becomes illegal.
That's what I'm saying.
So when slavery becomes illegal, if you get caught moving slaves, they was burning your ship. So you had a big percentage of ships whom repurposed themselves, became traders.
And that's
a
what I'm
big
saying.
purpose
Right,
of ships sold their ships to the military. Fam in the comments on Instagram say they still haven't found the ships. I just gave you 3 examples of 3 ships that they found, that have been found. The Clotilda, which is the ship that Brother Cujo came over in Mobile, Alabama. The San de Paqueto in the Cape of South Africa. That was a Portuguese slave ship. Then you have another slave ship that I had pulled up that they found different pieces of right off of the coast of Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Where is this ship at? Right off of the coast of Cuba, in between Florida, the Guerrero. Okay, as well as keep in mind, you know what one thing we have to remember. You know, these people, they hid knowledge from us for so long for a reason. It was a reason the original people couldn't read in this country. Because if we can read, we can find out the truth. Okay? That they paid money to one another to carry out this work. Okay, now that those of us can research and we can show and prove, what we know is that they kept the receipts. And they still in the National Archives and the National Libraries and the maritime libraries all around the world. They kept the receipts, man. So I want to play this last little clip real quick, because I know I've been sitting here talking about it. But it was one more that I wanted to drop. Let me play this real quick, and then we're gonna keep it rolling. Man, you talking about the Titanic, man? That happened in the 40s, man. We talking about some shit that happened in the 1800s, bro. For 250 years, man. From the 15, like slavery started in 1558, man. 1600s, man. You talking about 200 years from the mid 1500s all the way to the 1800s, where slavery was then made illegal, man. Come on, man, make it make sense. You really comparing this to the Titanic right now? Come on, dude. What was supposed to be the marvel of modern shipbuilding, the biggest ship ever made up into that time. Come on, dude.
And imagine if that was at that time. What was being built then wasn't even that durable.
Right. Ooh, wait, man. Look how easy that motherfucker sank. What you think was gonna happen with these little wood ships, man, carrying too many people? Well, look, let me play this next one, man. Let's see what the brother had to say about the subject.
You look at Africans, or not all Africans, but West Africa, you won't find like any stories that point to any like huge slave trade. If it actually happened, there would have to be like stories. Like if you go ask your great grandparents, if you're African, then they would tell you about like white men like arriving on the beaches and kidnapping people or forcing tribes to kidnap other tribes, but there's not really like stories everywhere about that. So that's another thing that makes it not valid. And fourth point,
all right.
you look at Africans.
Hold on, bro. All right, man. So let's get to this, man. Let's get to this one. This is another one that I thought was interesting. That I thought was kind of crazy. Like, you know, what I think the brother is missing out is that, you know, the modern day continental African man was severely colonized, man. for the most part, he was stripped of a lot of his history and a lot of his knowledge too. As well as, you know, that's why I said he does seem really young. As well as I found, you know, several instances, several cases of stories of African cultures teaching about the history of slavery. In particularly, you know, one of the ones that was mentioned earlier was the teaching where you get the Gullah people, as well as when you see the Voodoo teachings and the Ifa teachings and the Santa Maria teachings, all here in America. All right, and these are all people who are showing and inhibiting a direct relationship with teachings of the continent of Africa, who conveyed their teachings and passed their teachings through the institution of slavery here in America. So we have many examples, even on the African continent. You had famously, even that's the one I was thinking about, man, did he not see the country of Ghana openly denounce for whatever they role or they small role in slavery and understanding the history of slavery, and agreed to accept so-called American Negroes into the country for free and give them land? So this is an example of an entire country acknowledging the existence of slavery.
He must not have ever heard of Goree Island.
Come on, God.
And there's a whole thing built around that off the coast of Senegal. It was that Senegal, right? Yeah. And I don't know how many Senegalese brothers and sisters that I've spoken with that are from there, that are here. And we have a conversation. I speak to them about Goree Island, and they know nothing about it.
Ooh, Bill, God.
And one of the things they say to me is, when they went home, they went there.
Ooh,
and they learned about it, and they seen it. So I can understand why a brother from there would be saying something like that, because they don't even know about it. They still coming here looking for the gold that was promised. And then get here and they're sad and disappointed, like, damn, it ain't what I was told.
With the milk and honey, baby.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right in his eye.
So therefore, it's understandable for him to have that type of outlook and understanding towards the situation. However, the reality of the fact is, they still looking for the land of milk and honey. And back at home, they ain't even taught this. You know, the Goree Island, you know, I haven't been there, but I have pictures of it there from the brother that went back there once. I told him about it. Brother name was Bejon. He was the brother that we used to build with up at Mammoth on Grand River in Greenfield when we had a.
They don't know about me. They don't know about that, man.
We had a school. We had a headquarters. You know what I'm saying? The nation had a headquarters in Mammoth back in the day. It's like a bookstore. You know, in a little cafe area. You know, we would just come sit down and build or whatnot, whatever. And I used to build with that brother because they sold incense and oils over there at that particular time. And the brother was from Senegal. And we got the building and I dropped out on him, and the brother went back home and he said he had went there. He had brought me pictures. When he went there to Goree Island, he took pictures of the door that they call the point of no return.
Bill, somebody was just talking about that on the Instagram comments.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
So that right there lets you know that there is some remnants of that there that even the people of that land have as a historical landmark.
Peace, God.
In Senegal.
Peace, God. And if I'm not mistaken, you know, because I've seen several documentaries on that space and on that whole science, the door of no return, God, like it's actual shackles there. It's actual stone cement.
Listen, the door.
Like you said,
there's no step there.
Peace,
there's
God.
nothing there.
Ooh.
It was nothing but a wood plank that was put onto a ship. Once you went past that, you couldn't go out that door. It wasn't no step outside that door. It was the Atlantic Ocean.
Damn.
It wasn't no step outside. The step was on a plank into a ship.
Ooh, Bill, God.
It's a whole little castle built on an island. That was a slave holding place.
Right. Whole dungeons. It's a movie
called Sankofa made on the island.
Peace, God. Bill, that's when I was trying to think of the name of it, but no, you dropped it. Peace to the God. And like the God said, this a whole island, a whole castle, a physical monument exhibiting and show forth and proving the institution of slavery, the physical remnants and remains and artifacts of the institution of slavery. So if you just joining in, if you just hopping in the stream with the 5% Connection, man, we was responding to a growing conversation that we've been seeing on social media, man, about individuals saying and trying to add validity to the claim that the institution of slavery never happened, that it never existed. They said, where's the boats? They said, you know, where's the records? Where's the proof? Where's the documents? So we went through it. You know, me and my brother, we talked about the Clotilda. We talked about the San Diego Pequo, which is the other slave ship that they found off the Cape of South Africa. We talked about the records that's in the British Parliament, the records that's in the Library of Congress. We were just going through talking about the physical places, like the point of no return. You talked about the actual writings, the slave diaries. Zora Neale Hurston writings on Cujo, one of the slaves that came off the Clotilde out down there in Mobile. We just going through some of these different points as well as some of the history to give an understanding and show and prove and go through the science, everything in life, man. So now, man, listen, if you got questions, if you got rebuttals, if you think something that we saying is not right and exact, or if you just want to get your comment read, if it's something that you want to add on, drop it in the comments right now, man. We about to play some music. I got some hot tracks from the God, man. If this is your first time tuning in with us, y'all know we not only do we go through the God science and then we add on to the culture and add on to the build, but we also like to show some love to the guys that's making music and the guys that's got some hot tracks out right now. So I got a couple joints from the God, my man God Golden. We're gonna drop the God's joints. And then after that, we'll take all questions, we'll take all rebuttals, we'll take any add-on or anything like that, as well as we're gonna read off some comments, man. So let me get into this. Let me get the God up so we can go through this and let my mans build. And while we going through the music, man, y'all let the God know what y'all think, man. Y'all let us know, you know, if the God got some flow, if the God joint is hot, you know, whatever. If it's something that we need to play back, we actually looking and working to get the God in here for an interview, man. Real great God, real powerful brother, man. I really like the God. Me and the God been kind of connecting lately, so we want to show the God some love. Check out his music. Y'all let us know what y'all think about it. Antoine 614, man, send it to the DM, man. DM us your joint, man. If we can't get it on tonight, man, we'll definitely get it on next week. Just DM it to us, bro. We got you. So first up, man, let me play the God. Let me get the God going. Listen, if y'all got questions, if y'all got add-ons, if it's something y'all want to say or something that you know, questions or rebuttals to anything that we've added on in on this subject this evening, man, and in the space, please feel free to, you know, come in, chime in, drop it in the comments, man, whether you with us on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. Let's go, man. I got the God Golden. V Ice Precise, directed by Infomega, man. So y'all check the God out. Give him a follow, man, on YouTube. I'm gonna put the link in the bio if y'all with us on YouTube or wherever. Peace.
This that Harlem. This 86. This ain't Nick. This 100 pair of kicks. This 20,000 on the pickup game. We headed to Sugar Hill right now to holla at LA. I'm riding uptown right now with Lenny. I'm channeling Vaughn Drew. It's that V Ice Precise. Bass. It's G Ice precisely. I'm a rap mechanic, deaf to all beats. Murder is the standard. I reign supreme, no, I'm not McGriff. Granted, hot as he managed to remain the cream and not fall off the cliff. I rock too much route. Closet is the polo ground. Bears on my shirt. I'm very vintage with the style. St. John's on my cap. And on my sweater too. Not in the league, but I bet I could cook, they starting too. It's the wing guard in the flesh. Get my chamois on, putting buckets on them in the jacks. They like, you see it all like the IRA. I say nah, I see it all like I'm ILA. I was born victory, my brother is divine. Stone Seed, Lord Kundalini, G-Man on his grind. Here to get paid in full, check out my melody. Cousin pulled up in the Porsche, check out Melody. Muhammad spitting comments to the Tylers about their problems in the projects. Teach them how to raise their logic. This is garbage, so I drop it from the heavens and above. This is lessons for the brethren and the people that I love. This for Mimi the This for Berta, this for Francis. Rex and Effects, that's the family. V-Man, you hear the crowd chanting? Peace Guard screaming, that's the anthem. Yo, it's VV, hop out the VV. Looked at the kicks on my ride, they was squeaky. Looked at the kicks on my feet, they was squeaky. Shining guard, the blind man, he could see me. It's the point guard in the flesh. It's the point guard in the flesh. It's the point guard in the flesh. Get my chamois on, putting buckets up in the jacks. Inspired by Kundalini yoga with the flame. Everybody took shots at the guard, but I remain. They tried to kill me once, kill me twice, kill me all again. They like, Gold, we need you back so we could do it all again. See, Vaughn got flow, that's that V-Ice precise. How they want me let you go and I still see you in the night. Listen, I see his visions in the night. He like, they can't stop you, guard. They can't stop your might. I'm like, you right. Matter of fact, you right and exact. Machine gun funk from the heat of these raps. Machine gun handle when I'm patting the rock. I'm Saint Nick on Saint Nick. I be rapping the block. Drop jewels like it's a hole in my lip. I got a gift, see, you got ammo? A couple clips and that don't even out like that clip that you leaving out. I advise you to take the breathing route. We can stop that with one rap, gasping. When the metaphors attack, more similes than the legs of a centipede. Count it out till I ball like Embiid. True indeed, I'm the true and living. You see my heart pumps at a different rhythm. The arm legger, yeah, he in the building. The sky's not the limit, I don't have a ceiling. It's the point guard in the flesh. Get my chamois on, putting buckets on them in the jacks. They like, you see it all like the IRA. I say nah, I see it all like I'm ILA. Victory. I was born victory. I was born victory. I was born victory. Peace, peace.
Yo, that was flame.
Peace to the God.
Peace to the God. Yeah, the
Yeah,
God
nice.
ripped that shit. Yeah, the God tore that one up. Boy, y'all let us know what y'all think about that within the comments, man.
Yeah.
That was live. Peace to the God. Okay. Yeah, I seen Kevin Jenkins say the God is nice, man. Yeah, that was peace. God said he just sent this track. Okay, peace. DI Universe Comics said the Native Americans migrated here from India, Kush, India, 16,000 years ago. Right and exact, man. I agree with you on that. So let me get the next one. I got another track from the God. The God sent me true tracks. Look, y'all show us some love, man. Y'all liking the stream. If you want to support what we doing, man, and support the content, help us keep it coming, man. Y'all can support us, man, at the 5%connection.live. If you want to donate to the stream, if you want to donate to the platform, we also got merch, the knowledgeofselfstore.com will take you to our merchandise. Look, if you've been tuning into the stream the whole time and you ready to learn more and study with the 5%ers and get with the gods and the earths in your respective geographical location, you can go to this website at the top of the screen, the 5%connection.com. Drop your info in, man, and we'll get you connected with the culture as soon as we possibly can. Word. So, got the next track, man. I got another one up from the God who I just dropped one from, the God Golden, man. We about to get another one on the God. I like the God's flow, man. He really getting it in. It was really a nice one. You know these boys know they gotta pay the bills on us. But the God definitely was dropping it. I like the God style. I like to hear the mathematics, to hear that culture, to hear that language in them raps. That's always a supreme pleasure. I know that's why I like to show love to the gods, because it's always something to be able to hear or see an individual that's from my same mindset, that's from my same cultural viewpoint, express themselves musically, God. I think it's a real dope thing. I see. Would you say? Would you agree?
I love it.
I love it too. Peace, God. I do. Word is bond. I'm with you. I think that was the way to express it. I love it. Yeah. So we got Peace, God, the True and Living Anthem. Y'all show the God some love, man. Make sure y'all following my mans. Go forget a God to follow. We're gonna put his link in the YouTube description, man. If you following us on if you're not following us on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and do, man, as well as Instagram, Facebook. We're gonna keep it rolling. If you got questions about anything that we talked about, man, make sure you drop them in the comments. Let's go.
They doing their job and we doing ours. The 5% is gonna do their job.
History with this one right here.
What's the difference between the job they're doing and the job
We're
you're
gonna
gonna
renew
do?
our history right
See,
here.
we're gonna be building. We're gonna build a black nation that's gonna be all wise and righteous.
I'm the true and living. 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 Word is born. I'm the God. And that's word to the 7, that's on my charm. Peace. I'm the true and living. 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 Word is born. I'm the God. You see the 7 and crescent, I'm applying my lesson. Alright, now peace, God. That's how you greet, God. Each one I teach one, that's none the least, God. I got freedom, justice, equality, peace, God. I'm like Arel, Salim, and Jeebus on this beat, God. See, I was founded in peace. Black man, my mind from the east, but meditate in the west, in the gut of the beast. Cause the 85% move they feet, just cause rhythms up in my speech. I ain't got no need to preach, and they love the way that I teach. I'm the true and living. 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 Word is born. I'm the God. And that's word to the 7, that's on my charm. Peace. I'm the true and living. 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 Word is born. I'm the God. You see the 7 and crescent, I'm applying my lessons. Peace, God. You trying to eat, God? Then devise a plan and watch it rise like yeast, God. With your team, God. Let's have a feast, God. It's no deceit, cause my disciples all at ease, God. You see it's in my genes being God. That's my true religion. Grab my balls through my denim. Michael Jacksonism, the man in the mirror. Can't make it no clearer. You was made in his image, now time to dead all these gimmicks. If you let them tell your story and let them give you your history, they'll have you all confused, thinking that it's all a mystery. I'ma speak the truth. You can tell them I said it, so when you thinking about me, I promise you won't forget it. I'm the true and living. Said I'm the true and living. Word is born. I'm the God. You see the 7 and crescent, I'm applying my lessons. Peace. Aight.
Yo, that was nice and fire right there. That's what I'm talking about. Peace to the God. I liked that one all the way. Peace to the God. Yeah, my man's came with some all the way flame. Peace to the God.
I like that right there.
Peace to the God,
You
man.
know.
So, welcome, man. If anybody is just joining us, if you're just tuning in, go ahead, God.
I just gotta say, because it's just funny, you know, and it just shows you, you know what I'm saying, being versatile with your talent. You know, it's my first time hearing the guy's music, you know what I'm saying? And when I heard the first song, I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, that was right, that was fire. And then when I'm hearing that song, you know, we done listened to it for a minute. I think almost at the end, you know, I asked you something or whatever, and then you told me we got to talk about the song, and he said, no, that's the same guy. I'm like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he just flipped up the style that quick, just like that. You know what I'm saying? It was still nice. You know, I like that. You know.
Yeah, that was
peace to the
definitely nice.
God,
Peace
definitely.
to the God. So yeah, man, listen, man. If anybody out there has any questions, any add-ons or anything like that, man, I'm gonna go through some of these comments from some of the dialogue, as well as we just gonna kind of recap, kind of bring this thing home. Y'all know we ain't here to keep you all day, because we want to drop a little jewel. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all know this ain't the podcast where you come, we gonna talk for 3-4 hours, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you ain't trying, we ain't gonna sit and talk for 3 hours and, you know, just be quiet and staring into blank space. We want to add on and keep it nice and funky, fresh and quick and fast and moving right down to the times, man. And go ahead and give it up, get it out the way, build on it, add on to it, and drop it all the way live, man. So for anybody that's just been getting with us, we've been addressing the conversation and the topic about, this conversation that slavery never happened, that the boats don't exist, that the transatlantic slave trade wasn't a real process. We just been addressing it in so many different ways. That's all. We just been going through some of these various different sciences. We went through the records, through the archives, you know, and one of my biggest points of contention is I don't see a reason for all these people to lie. A lot of these things are conspiracy theory.
What about Harriet Beecher Stowe?
But God, that's another one, God. Yo. Yeah, you know, but it's just so many of them, God.
Mm-hmm.
You have so many historical records of not only slave writings, people that were ex-slaves, people whose parents were slaves.
People that were against slavery.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, absolutely. People that were against slavery.
I mean, you had a whole abolitionist,
Peace,
movement.
God. Peace, God. Absolutely.
That's documented.
Yeah, well, again, God, and I think I want to be clear on this because part of this argument and part of what people come with is that not only do they don't ascertain that the institution of slavery didn't happen, that the process of enslavement didn't happen. They made the point that the slave trade didn't happen, that there are no boats, in a sense, right? That that 12 million people didn't come from Africa to this country. That they just enslaved the Native Americans. That's why I went to the point where we went through the phenotype about how the Native American people, for one, they never allowed themselves to be enslaved, as well as they represent an entirely different genetic makeup than the so-called African. So these ain't the same two people that you comparing to. People just trying to bring it together for convenience of their argument.
I think you can see the difference in the phenotype clearly today.
Right.
Between the American so-called Negro and original people or Native Americans.
Yeah, true indeed. True indeed, you can. And I think the piece with it is that because I think the biggest thing of it is, for one, a lack of research, a lack of knowledge, right? Because you got people that's only using one source. They only going to Google. They going to one place thinking that this search engine has all of the answers. When some of the answers aren't on the search engine. Some of the answers are in actual physical writings. Some of the answers we're going to have to go to where the lies are buried, or the library, and dig it up, man. So yeah, man. So if anybody had any questions, any add-ons, man, we just wanted to clear all of that up, clear up the confusion, just add on to the science of everything in life. Go ahead, God.
No, just thinking about when you say that, because back, when we were doing what we call, research, and we were studying, we had the chance to be able to go to those conferences that they had. We had it was something called the Melanin Conferences. And they went around to different cities. So you had the ASCAT, conferences. And these were conferences that went around different, urban areas, urban cities that had these black programs. And they had the different scholars like, Carruthers, Van Sertima, Henry Clark, they had these different, Runoko Rashidi, right. Professor Smalls, all of these individuals would be at these conferences, and they would take you through workshops and have scientific demonstrations that they would show and prove, that works and whatnot. And these were part of the things that we would make sure that we were going to partake in, to be a part of our studies and whatnot. And those are the type of things that I think they need to be incorporated in the individuals' daily routine when they start talking about studying and breaking down these things. Yeah. Get away from Google so much, and it's not too many libraries open anymore here and there. The main library is, but the library is still a bad motherfucker.
Still a bad motherfucker. And God, I think that was one thing that fascinated me when I went and seen Runoko Rashidi speak, God. Mm-hmm. Is that his whole presentation was pictures, God.
Yeah.
Word is bond.
Yeah.
He whipped out a damn projector and went through a slideshow of pictures from his camera. When he went through the pyramids, I never knew that it was pyramids in Sudan.
Oh yeah, they got more pyramids.
That's what he said. That's what he said. He said that. But then God, he pulled up the slides and started showing the pictures of them. About how he do a tour. He did at the time. He was doing a tour once a year where he take so many people and they stay 3-4 months over there, just resting at the pyramids, and he take them to each one. They go through so many different countries, and he's showing God. So, but people like this help show me that these things existed. These things are real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That these things are actually showing provable. So, With that, man, y'all know how we do, man. We ain't here to keep y'all all night. We want to make sure we drop some jewels. Listen, no matter what platform that you with us on, and that that you're streaming on, make sure that you catch the full replay. Frank M. Holla said, peace. Also, just think about how many ships didn't make it due to bad weather or first ships that were made from things back then. Oh, absolutely, man.
Yeah, no
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's where the things like the National Archives of the British Parliament come in handy, because because all of these things were funded. A lot of these voyages were documented, and it was documented where the money went. Who was the captain, who commissioned it.
Another good book to go and read that'll give you some information on that is the secret relationship between the blacks and the Jews.
Ooh, Bill, God.
By the Nation of Islam. A lot of works. They got a nice book out in regards to that, and they got a lot of the receipts.
Ooh.
In that book, the actual receipts.
Well, and that's what I'm going through, because one thing I got even from that book, they showed and proved how these things were funded.
Mm-hmm.
How the Jews and the different sects in the European communities, and the wealthy and the rich and the kings and the queens of Europe, from Portugal to Britain, all over the place, they were paying captains. They were paying to participate in this whole process.
And it wasn't just the Jews.
Right. Peace, God. Peace. So yeah, man. I mean, I think this whole argument, this whole build is really basic. It's something that anybody can draw up, man. Just with taking the time to really study and really do the knowledge and really dig into it, man, and really take the time, go see the world. Get outside of just this little box and your computer and things like that. Get outside from in front of your phone. Take some time to go actually grab some books and go through them. Study the master scientists. Even if you're going to be on YouTube all day, go study the people that actually did the work, because you haven't. Go study Dr. Ben Yohanan. Go study Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. Like you said, Dr. Runoko Rashidi. Go study these prominent men and original men who made their life's work to study the archaeological history
Dr.
and
Sheikh
our
Anta
relationship.
Diop.
Peace, God. Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop. So, yeah, man. So y'all know how we do. It's been a pleasure having y'all here and having y'all add on with us, man, at the God and Earth Hour podcast. We're gonna be back in here next Friday, man, at 10 p.m. If y'all got any questions, if y'all got any add-ons or anything that you want to know, if you're trying to get connected with the gods and the earth, if you haven't already, you can go to the 5percentconnection.com and connect with us. If you want to support the platform, man, and show us some love, just going over to the 5percentconnection.live, man. Drop us a donation, man. We appreciate it. Or grab some of the merch. Some of the merch that we got. You can go to the knowledgeofselfstore.com and we can get it in. Fan Antoine 614. Yo, we gonna play your joint next week, man. We gotta do the knowledge to it first, man. You know what I'm saying? I got it. I got the inbox, bro. We didn't have an opportunity to listen to it before we play it, bro. So we're gonna do the knowledge to it, and then we're gonna drop it. We're gonna tune in with us next week, man. So I got you in the queue. Yo, peace, Derek Belafonte. Yo, peace to you, man. Peace, bro. Yeah, we definitely love you, man. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate your dialogue and your add-on, man. Peace to everybody that's on the gram, that's on YouTube, and that's on Facebook, man. We appreciate y'all for adding on, man, and for tuning in. Make sure that y'all following the content. We strive our best to keep some content coming out every day, especially on the gram and on TikTok. It's a work to keep this thing going, but we're gonna keep it going, man. Yeah, Antoine 614. We got you next week. Just tune in with us, man. Let us do the knowledge to it. I got you in the queue because we just kind of ran over time.